Alrighty, folks. Looks like the stream is stable. This music is maddening, and it's been going on long enough. Looks like I got a couple folks watching me. Hello, hello. I have prepared for today by, it's kind of warm here, so I went and tortured myself with a nice warm espresso and a full packet of apparently nuclear ramen noodles. Hopefully they don't just expire in the middle of streaming here. Hopefully my music doesn't expire. There we go, there's some good tunes. So I don't really have a good stream startup patter to babble when I first start this thing. I guess maybe I'll just turn on the scene switcher and jump right into it. So I'll start that. And what should happen is I switch to my editor, and here we go. So the first thing I want to look at today is I've got a lot of garbage going on in my code that could be dried up a little bit. I guess it's not garbage, but one of the things I want to do, if I can navigate to one of the components in question. Yeah, so I got a lot of this going on, where I bind all these handlers in my constructors. And there's some better JavaScript syntax these days for handling this. And I believe it's called class properties. But it's a Babel feature I haven't installed or enabled yet for my JavaScript transpilation. So I think that's going to be my first task today. A little bit of a yak shaving warm-up before I try to get anything else done. And while I'm in there under the hood, I think I'm going to try adding some hot module reloading to this project, because it doesn't have it yet. And that's a fun feature, because it means you can edit one React component and it'll reload on the page without having to reload the whole page. And for bonus points, I might poke a little bit at making my development process even faster, because one of the things I'm doing right now, whether you can tell or not, this window right now, my editor, is actually on a remote desktop session on a Linux box living in Amazon EC2. And I'm doing that because I discovered running my project build, editing my files, and then also running this stream ended up being a little too much all at once for this laptop. So I'm outsourcing some of my CPUs to Amazon EC2, or some of my CPU cycles out to EC2 to free some up on my laptop. And so far it's doing pretty well. I'm still kind of experimenting with it. I tried mounting the remote file system and editing it locally. That seemed to not work very well. Oddly enough, the thing that has worked far more responsively is just a remote desktop session to that Linux machine. I would have thought sharing the file system locally would be faster, but so far it hasn't been. So that might be a thing I need to play with more, but for now, this is working, practically speaking. Alright, so I guess the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to try taking a look at adding these class properties. And since I don't quite remember what they're all about, I'm going to jump into my browser and do a little quick research. So I do believe the name of the feature is, I think it might be like ES6 class properties. Yeah. So what do you know? There it is. It's in Babel. Alright, so there are some plugins for this. I'm wondering if that's enough. Because I've gotten confused at times with this thing being a plugin, being part of what are the Babel presets. being part of a stage. So yeah, I don't know, maybe this random Medium article by Jacob Worrell will help me, even though it's from last fall. Things move fast in the JavaScript community, but some things stick around for a while, I guess. So yeah, this is my exact problem. I've got this starting to accumulate in my constructor, and I don't want it. And this is... I'm sure there'll be an example. Yeah, so this is what I do want. Is this new syntax where you can assign properties in a class, and what that basically does when it's transpiled, it moves all of those into the constructor. So these are basically bits of your constructor that you can spread around throughout the class. And you can search for this article if you want to read it later, but I'm just going to kind of skim through it because I'm looking for the goodies, like what do I need to do to incorporate this into my project? I've done it before, I just don't remember. Well, you know what I was hoping for from this article and I didn't see is what plugin do I install? So I guess this is a good example of what I want, but it's not telling me how to install the plugin. Yeah, I don't know, a class properties plugin, this is probably just it. I can jump to my shell on that remote machine and see what's up. I got a clean slate right now, so I don't have any work in progress that I need to address. Browser's loading a little slow, I don't like that. Alright, so this is the doco page for the thing. So maybe I'll just follow these instructions. Let's install that plugin. And this is a secure shell going up to my box in EC2, running tmux, so I can do multiple panes. Pane on the left is the build process I've got running for the project. It's running file watchers, and it's going to rebuild the it's going to rebuild the project, and it's going to run my tests, and it's going to run my syntax checking every time I change a file. And of course, it's running into a bunch of errors while I'm trying to install a thing. I don't know why it always does that. In fact, I might as well quit that build process since I am actually going to make changes to the build process. Alright, so I installed the plugin. I have noticed, and this is weird, sometimes when I install a new module, it loses this module I have installed for a font, and I don't know why. And then often when I install a new module, I then have to follow up by running an npm install to get it to reinstall. It's very confusing, and so maybe someday I'll troubleshoot that, but I don't know what's going on with it yet. Alright, so I'm going to let that npm install run. I did just install the Babel plugin. It should be easy, right? I mean, all I really should have to do is add this to my list of plugins. I think I tried this before and something went awry, but we'll see. So it recommends that you install that as part of Babel RC. I'm handling Babel a little different on this project. Let's exchange those windows. So this is my... So one of the things I do on this project, I use Webpack to build both a website, web app, and I also use it to build a browser extension. So I have a common Webpack config that gets shared between an extension Webpack and a Webpack web project. Those both get run as separate parallel processes by my build script. So shared between these two is this Webpack common. And in here are my Babel settings right here. Okay. So these are my common Babel options. they get included somewhere down here. Yeah. So they get included here. It's Babel options. So, I mean, to install this plugin, I should just have to do this, I think. Oops, I forgot my clipboard isn't currently being sent up to the remote desktop, so I guess I'll just have to type it. Transform class properties. Okay, cool. So it's transform class properties. Correct? I guess we'll see. And in the background, my npm install has finished. That's cool. I guess let's see if I broke the build. Actually, is that the command I'm using for build these days? Let me see. Yeah, let me just run my whole process. So I've got a special command in package.json these days to start this up in EC2. And the only real special thing it does is I have the Webpack dev server, the HTTP server, get its host name from the current EC2 box I'm running, so that it will serve up the project at the current host name for that box. So I'm going to start up that EC2 build. And it's kind of nice because EC2 offers this private web service that will tell you the host name of whatever box you're on, and that's super handy because every time this box restarts, which is pretty much daily because I try to shut it down at night when I'm not using it, every time this virtual machine restarts, it gets a different host name because it kind of wanders through Amazon's infrastructure. So this little curl call gives me whatever hostname it currently happens to be, so I can just do start EC2. Okay, so it looks like that build worked. No errors as far as I can see. Cool, okay, and then I should be able to reload it. Looks like it's reloading, looks like there's no problem. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, let me remove that. So one of the interesting things about Firefox Color is that it's a website with a companion browser extension, and that browser extension is locked to the specific site, and it won't. And that extension listens to messages from that site to change the theme in the browser. So every time I restart that box and its hostname changes, I need to reinstall this add-on in my development browser. And sometimes that's slow because it's happening over a remote file system right now, which is annoying. Well, we'll let that go for now. That's my favorite part of this song. Okay, so I think we loaded the add-on. The site's going to reload. It's got my current host name for that dev box. And now that I've got that add-on installed, you can see if I change the theme on the website, it's going to change the theme in the browser. A little slow because my machine's a little overburdened right now, but this is kind of the gist of Firefox Color, is you can edit your theme from a website, apply it to your browser, share the theme, all that fun stuff. Most recent thing I did was add this kind of really bad but functional UI for adding your own custom background images. So, back to my editor. I didn't break the build by adding that plugin. So what I want to do now is change these verbose handler bindings into just plain class properties. Let's see if I can do that. So, I don't know, let's pick one. First one, handle clear background. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete it from here. I'm going to find it. Where are you at? So that's where you're used. This is ready to find. So the thing here, this new syntax, if I remember right, is just this. That seems right. Let me go see if I broke the build. I added that plugin, so it shouldn't have broke the build. Appears I did break the build. What is going on? Unexpected token. You know what? I might have to add it. So that's linting error. I might have to add that to my lint rules. Alright, fair enough. So... hey ESLint, how do I make you aware of class properties? ESLint plugin class property. Okay, maybe that's what I need. So let's move on to that. This package has been deprecated. Please use ESLint plugin Babel. Okay, well, alright. Wait a minute, is it Babel plugin ESLint or is it ESLint plugin Babel? Okay, it's ESLint plugin Babel. Alright, well, let's try adding that. Let's see if we can fix our lint rule. Forge ahead with that, and it also says I need to add that to my ESLint RC file. Which I can just do that while that module's installing. So where's my ESLint file? It's a hidden file. Expand that a bit. Where are our plugins? I don't have any plugins installed, do I? Alright, well that's fine. I mean, that is an ESLint RC, right? Yeah, okay. Well, let's just do this. Not EXLint. It'd help if I could type today. That's right? ESLint. Oh, it's just Babel. Derp. Oh, we can fix that. So we're just adding Babel. And I assume while I've been bungling through that edit, yes, that changed. Let's start the build process again. So far, so good. Okay. Look like that built properly. Looks like that didn't break my build. Okay, now what broke? Is it that? I saw some red. Yeah, it's that damn font again. Okay, let's try that again. Let's just stop the build process for now. Yeah, every time, I don't know why, every time I install a new module, a new NPM module, it somehow loses the Fira font package I installed. Oh, well that was fast. Okay. Let's start EC2 again. Watch the build. I mean, this is why I have this on EC2 right now, is this build is pretty fast. This build was taking up to a full 5 minutes on my local laptop. Now it's basically fast enough to run on every file change. In that it doesn't do all of this on every file change, but it's still pretty fast. It's okay, so I think I managed to get a good build. Oh wait, I just closed the file I wanted to edit. There we go. Okay, so let's keep doing these handlers. I'm gonna move these two for now, though. So that cleans up my constructor there. I don't have to accumulate all those binds there. And the two that I retained are just kind of special cases of this one binder, or this one handler. Oh, hello, kitty. You're moving my whole laptop. Please don't do that.
Turned out the lights. Down there, lapping up the cream like a couple of...
Hi. Yes, I know you want some attention. How are you doing, Kitty? I have to watch this little guy because he will throw my laptop entirely off my desk by nuzzling it. Which is cute, but fairly disruptive. Oh, I know what this is gonna break. Hi, Kitty. The thing I want here is this props. So these are just kind of special cases of move with a pre-baked new index. I've finished tweaking the rest of these things.
Do the same thing. Anything goes today. No candy, no ice cream. Turned out the lights.
I got any more handlers? I think that's my last handler. Alright, so this is the main thing I did here is rather than bind these all in the constructor, I can turn them into class properties and they're automatically bound by virtue of these arrow functions.
Next morning at breakfast, she would just stare at me, right into my eyeballs, pupil to pupil, never blinking. Her eyes looked like two distant attorneys.
This is kind of a freaky song. Oh no, I can see in the background I had some errors. What errors have I had?
Never blinking. Her eyes looked like two distant attorneys.
I thought the plugin was happy with me now. Okay, well let's see. What is line 108? No, that's my first handler. It's not happy with me doing that. But that is the class property syntax, right? I thought I fixed the linter. So maybe I don't need the semicolons. I don't know. What is going on here? It builds fine, it's just that my linter, the ESLint, is now unhappy with me. I don't think it's the semicolons. I'm sure it's going to yell at me again. The build worked fine, tests run. It's just ESLint that's unhappy. I'm wondering if maybe that particular process didn't pick up the new plugin? Yeah, no, it's unhappy with me. Okay, so what the F? I added it to ESLint, did I not? I added a new plugin to ESLint. Oh, you know what it is? I don't have a Babel RC, so this thing is not picking up Babel rules, I bet. Unless it's down here. Let's see. No? Doesn't fail when inside class properties. So this is confusing because it doesn't. It looks like it wants some rules. I thought maybe it just read my Babel RC to pick up some rules, but it does not. Maybe I need Babel ESLint. I thought I already had that. Maybe I don't. Or if I do, maybe I don't have it configured. Do I not already have Babel ESLint? Nope, I don't have Babel ESLint installed. Okay, well let's do that then, since that appears to be needed. Alright, well, let's see about that. What ESLint do I have installed? I have ESLint 4, so it wants me to install ESLint 8. Actually, while that installs, I gotta go run and catch the door real quick. Be right back. Alright. I am back. Sorry, I just had the doorbell ring. Looked like it was a package. Grab that real quick. I was installing Babel ESLint. Which, alright, I guess this is what I'm looking for. That's weird. I have my ESLint is set up as YAML, and all the examples I see are set up as JSON. I should probably change that someday. So what is my parser? I don't have that configured. So I guess what I want to add here, I want to say my parser. Parser's Babel ESLint. Rules. I don't know that I need to add the rules yet. What are my... Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's do this. Is that going to make my build happy with me? Oh, kitty, you're laying on my phone. Oh, it doesn't make me happy. Oh, wait. No, it does make it happier. So actually now it's catching a thing I actually wanted to catch. Okay, so forging ahead. Let's actually fix that error. I'm going to restart the build. So it was saying line 21 index is... Oh, I know why that is. I don't use that there anymore because I moved it down here. Okay, cool. So now what? I'm still having this problem. Every time I install a module, it loses the font. That's starting to get annoying to the point where I think I might actually, no, I think I might add that to my to-dos of something to fix. someday I'll be able to type without typos on the stream. Alright. I believe our install finished. Let's restart the build. Everything is running. Okay, this time looks like it made it without any errors. Looks like my linting was indeed happy. I'm running it again on this other side because I'm afraid I missed some messages. Cool. This might mean that I finished my first to-do, so let's go see. Let's go look at it in the browser and verify all the stuff works. My browser's not responding. What did I do? There it goes. Okay, now it's responding. Now it's reloading. It reloaded, so okay, the file I was directly editing had to do with background images. Let's add some images. I don't know, here's my head. You can see my head just showed up at the top of the browser. If you didn't see it, I can repeat it. And now my head's all the way across the top of the browser. It's one of the worst images I could pick. There's another random image from my desktop. And there's yet another random image. You can't see the other two images because they're below the first one, but that's cool because one of the features I added on Wednesday is the ability to reorder these. That's cool. So each of these buttons is hooked up to the handlers that I just moved in to class properties. I also added the feature of clearing one of the backgrounds, which still works. Cool. I mean, the one thing that doesn't work is these file names don't update because they don't actually modify the file selector, and I might not even have permission to do that, so I may just hide those. But the thing is, I believe I just fixed the issue. Or I just completed my first to-do. So. Actually, I'm going to look through some of my other classes first. I did actually add the support for this, but I'm going to peek at some of my other components to see if there's anywhere else I can do this cleanup. So, alright. Make this quicker. There's maybe like a dozen. Well, my count not good. I'm gonna just open up all these directories. I don't think there's any found here in the app component. No. How about app background? So this is just kind of maybe a quick tour of the rest of the components in the project. I'm looking around to see if there's anywhere else I could use class properties for handlers instead of bind. Yeah, the other thing I could do, actually, which might make this faster, let's try... Wait, what am I... I'm forgetting my file structure. There we go. There we go, okay. Name.js. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to look for instances of bind, which might help me track them down faster. Oh, there's not that many. Now this is something, if you're using an IDE, you could do this super easy in your IDE, but I'm just using Vim and a shell, so I do most of my kind of IDE stuff like this, just because I'm used to it. Yeah, now see, this is a bind that is happening right on render, which is not super happy. But that's a good one to change. So that's in a component called theme logger. And yeah, you can see the bind happens right here. So what we can do with this, where's that method get called? Toggle logger. I only gets called in that one spot. So here's what we can do with it. We're going to turn it into a class property with an arrow function. And now we should be able to just do this. No binding at render, only binds at construction time. And if I'm lucky, my build in the background will not give me any static. So far so good. That looks like I only got a handful more. And I guess just to make sure I know this thing still works, let me reload the page. It probably already automatically reloaded. I'm actually not super fond of this song. So that logger component I know is over here, and basically what it does is just give a JSON dump of the data in the current theme, which you can't see super well because unfortunately my my head and my to-do list are covering it up. Yeah, there you can see it. So I didn't break that. That's breaking, or that's working. Okay, so far so good with these class properties. I'm going to go through and change a few more. So background picker, let's go fix that one. Theme background picker. And where did that show up? It says it's at line 41 and 78. So okay, let's go to line 41. Oh, you know, there's a bind, and these are all very simple binds. So that's what makes this. This is just very often repeated code if we're not using class properties. So I can just do this. And no more binding. Where's the other one? Line 78. I'm sure the line changed by one now though. Yeah, so here it is. And yeah, this one is kind of cruddy because this is actually creating a new function every time this component renders, which is not the end of the world, but if your whole app is doing this, you're wasting a lot of garbage collection on new functions. Hey Slayer Darth, doing pretty good. How you doing? Alright, so this is handle click. Let me just change this into a class property. If I were super lazy, I would write some kind of script to go through and find these and change them automatically, but I'm not that ambitiously lazy at the moment. Alright. Build didn't break, tests passed. Of course I don't have that many tests testing my React components yet, so someday. Theme colors editor, let's fix that one. Theme colors editor, and it told us that the line number is 16 and 17. So yeah, so we got two that are bound in the constructor right now. We got a telephone interview for a company that looks cool. Awesome, hope it goes well for you. That's always exciting / nerve-wracking. Let's see, we gotta do key press, color change. The build and sell automation software might be using Selenium. That's cool. We use Selenium for a lot of stuff at work. Well, here Mozilla. Trying to, like, in fact, our I think our test pilot project has some integration tests running through Selenium on Circle CI. Alright, some more moved the class properties. I did not break the build, that's cool. How many we got left? 2 left. Onboarding, 41 and 49. Oh, nice. Well then, double good luck on that. Hope that works out for you. Onboarding. Yeah, and here's another handler, another couple handlers that are bound right in render, and that's not the best thing to do. Again, not the end of the world, but it's just, you really only need to create this binding once, which is what class properties help with. Yeah, that is a problem we run into with Selenium occasionally, for better or worse. Sometimes the errors, because we test a lot of our sites on Firefox nightly, and so it's weird territory, because sometimes the errors are because Firefox nightly has changed such that something we're doing doesn't work anymore. And then sometimes it's changed such that Selenium can't talk to nightly in a certain way anymore. So it's weird, like it's a weird intersection of, if a test broke, is it our site? Is it actually Firefox, or is it Selenium? But the nice thing about that is hopefully by the time that version of Nightly ships, we fix the issue, and yeah, I think there's a bunch of Mozillians who've contributed to Selenium just for those reasons. I personally haven't. Maybe I should. Well, yeah, I'm gonna do handle dismiss. And yeah, so these class properties, again, just let us get rid of all these extra binds, because it happens at construction time. Yeah, like I think some of the things we may have done for Selenium, or modules you can use with Selenium, is, I know you can use it, or if it's mirroring it, I forget what it is, somewhere in there you can actually do assertions on bits of the browser UI and not just the site. So that helps us on TestPilot when we want to assert that a add-on has been installed. Oh, you automate testing against client PSD, so is that like Photoshop files, like your actual like visual mockups? Alright, I don't have any more mentions of bind in my components, so I might have actually just finished a to-do. You know, package lock is an interesting concept, but it makes for terribly verbose diffs. And I dislike that. Well, that's interesting to be able to like automate your tests from your Photoshop mockups. There we go. Maybe we can exclude package lock from our diffs for now. Oh, yeah, that can be a problem. If you don't have even support across all the browsers for all the properties, you can't do the exact same tests in every browser. And that's a pretty basic thing, though, is what resolution your browser is at. Let's see, so I made some tweaks to my linting. Added a couple more packages. Changed all these to class properties. Yeah, this is a pretty big chunk right here. I removed all of these. And this is a much more concise, non-repeating syntax. Instead of doing like this kind of bind thing, I can just say It's a class property of an arrow function now. Okay, cool. So let's check that in. Alright. Since I did some significant work there, I'm gonna get that off my machine ASAP. Now, I'm quite a ways into this branch now. I've done a few unrelated changes. Yeah, like I've got over a screen full of little changes I've done while adding this new feature, but that's alright. I may end up splicing this apart in a different pull request later, we'll see. It's okay, so I'm going to say this first to-do is done. What's next? Add hot module relator. Okay, let's see about that. Let's clean up a little bit. Reset my state. Alright, so hot module reloading, if you've never used it, it's a cool feature, Webpack. And when combined with React, it's even cooler. It will... So when Webpack builds your project, it's going to build a JavaScript bundle if you have it configured to do so, and that's what most people do. Webpack will reload your page for you, which is what I have it doing right now. The problem with that is reloading the whole page could be annoyingly slow. It could lose your state and where you were in the app. Hot module reloading will build the whole bundle, but rather than reloading the page, it'll ship just the changed module to the page. And if that module happens to be a React component, that one React component can be changed, and then if you do a re-render of the page, not a reload, it could be very much quicker, to the point where you could have your browser and your editor side by side, change the component, and like within sub-second time see the changes. So that's very kind of rewardingly interactive. I think some of our projects have used Browser Stack too. I'm trying to remember. That's another one that I personally haven't used though. Yeah, that's always a crappy situation too when the docs say one thing, the service docs say one thing, and the support is actually yet another thing. That can waste a whole day. Especially if you believe the docs and you just keep banging your head against it trying to make what they say should work. Alright, so I've already looked at these things. Or actually, it's not hot module reloading, it's hot module replacement, because it doesn't reload. It replaces the module in place. So I don't know if I have it enabled. I think I am using Webpack Dev Server on this project. Let's see. Yes, I am using Webpack Dev Server. So, I want to configure it to use hot, which I may well already be doing, but I'm probably not. So to configure the hot server, I need this little bit of config here. And I believe the dev server config, no, it's over here in webpack.web. Dev server, so yes, hot, true. Let's turn that on. You know, the other thing I'm going to do, this is a little bit of a side trip, but I just found this useful in another project. Yeah, you know, it would be... I don't know, I don't work at browser stacks, I don't know what their stack looks like, but it would be useful if, say, I don't know, they did documentation embedded in their code or their configuration that they could extract, so then the docs are right there next to the reality of the code. I don't know, maybe it's not that simple. Alright, so I'm installing NodeMon, because since I'm screwing around with changing my Webpack config, I'm tired of restarting my build process every time I do it. And one of the things I have recently, on a different project, been using NodeMon for is actually run Webpack through NodeMon so that when Webpack config changes, it automatically restarts my Webpack server in the background. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Wait. It's EC2, right? Yeah, start EC2. So what I should be able to do... I believe this is right. I'm doing something, actually... I forget some of the parameters. Yeah, so you can tell it what to watch. And I really just want it to watch... I don't remember. Does this thing take globs? We'll see. Nope. I wonder if that's running the wrong version of Node. I know what it is. Let's try that. Okay, so hopefully what this is going to do is whenever I go and edit the Webpack configuration, by the time I come back to my shell, NodeMon should have already restarted my Webpack process. But then I don't have to remember to do it. And cutting out every little tiny step in your process is nice. And there's that missing module again. Yeah, this error right here is my next to-do after this one. I don't know why this keeps happening. And it's only fixed by doing another npm install, which I shouldn't need to do. But yeah, NodeMon is nice. I like file watchers, I like things that restart things for me, I like things that rebuild for me. Anything to do a repetitive task triggered by other things I'm doing is nice. No, I don't need to run that again. I need to separate my shell histories. Alright, there we go. So what did I do? I turned on the hot flag. Yeah, that's some other stuff that NodeMon does that I haven't played with a whole lot. It'll tell you everything it's doing if you do verbose. It'll tell you what file changed, what made it reload. Alright. Hot is true. What else do I have to do to get this to work? Hot module replacement guide. Alright, you know the other thing I need... I don't think I need this. Maybe I do. Hot module replacement plugin. Because the other thing I'm going to install... I was just doing this last weekend, so some of this is fresh in my memory. This is a neat little high-order component that you can just wrap around your, like, base React component. And it'll just enable all the hot reloading magic. And I think what I'm doing is normal enough to follow these things. Okay, Webpack hot module replacement plugin. And that goes in Webpack. I don't have Webpack imported, do I? Nope. So let's import Webpack. Once I just saved that, yeah, there it goes. It restarted my my build server. But that's okay because I'm not doing anything with that yet. New Webpack. New Webpack. Hot. What is that called? My copy and paste is not working between browser and remote desktop, so that's kind of now. Hot module replacement plugin. I seem to remember there was an error message at one point that told me I didn't need to add that, but that might have been for like Webpack 4, which this project is not yet using. Well, hello Kitty, just feel free to push things off my desk, thank you. Yes, you can purr at me about it. Alright, so that restarted without error. Okay. Alright, so this is the bit that I don't have to do if I use React Hot Loader. And this is the neat part about this, is it injects a little API into your Webpack bundle, and you can yourself handle the hot reloading. But I'm going to do this. You know, this is getting annoying. Yeah, I'm going to do, because I really want my copy and paste to work. I'm going to go to the remote desktop. I'm going to start Firefox. And this didn't work last time, but maybe it's being friendlier now. I could go to my desktop browser, send tab to device, please send it to that Firefox. I had sync enabled on here. Well, clearly it's not happy with me. It could be because this this box changes host names all the time. That's okay, because I only searched for it really easy like that. So this Firefox is coming in via remote desktop on a box at EC2, so things are a little cruddy with the refresh rate and whatnot. It's less noticeable in my editor. Alright, so this is the code I need. There we go. And thanks again for the host too. Alright, here back in my editor. I want to go to the root of my application here. We're adding this hot module. And also from the example, we don't need this because I already have an app component. And where do I do that? You know what, actually this is the wrong place to do this. Actually, I should be doing this over in my app component like the example said, I think. So that's just the index of my application that sets things up, but I want to put it here. Yeah, okay. Let's put it here. So yeah, this is a whole party of high-level components because I've got connect. That's my actual app component. And I've got connect wrapping it. And now I'm going to add... This is going to wrap it. I'm pretty sure this works because I just did this on another project. Now, if my magic worked, I should be able to do something like this. Actually, why don't I do this? Does this work on Linux? Yeah, this works on my Ubuntu box. I can put these windows side by side, so maybe I can actually show what's nice about this. What is my host name right now? React Hot Loader. You know what? I didn't install that, did I? No, okay. install the React Hot Loader. No, you know what? Actually, though, that's a dev dependency. It just doesn't matter so much in this because this is a private module, but let's install it this way anyways. I guess I also want to restart and package JSON changes. So far, so good. Now, if the magic is working, what I should be able to do is my host name. Changes every time, so I forget it. Wait, did I get that error again? Man. Next to do. The next to do. It's fixing this error. I forget about it every time, so I might as well just run npm install every time I do another npm install. It's significantly faster on this HC2 box than it is on my laptop, though, so I'm not super angry about it. Alright, so it restarted. Thank you. Ooh, that's not what I wanted to do. What's your... Yeah, that's the curl command I'm looking for. This is annoying. I really... That's a... Let's do this. I need to get my clipboard working. I forget how much copy pasta I do in a typical session with this crap. Because what I'm trying to get to is my host name. It's alright, whatever. What's my host name? Right, there's my host name. Okay. I don't need that % sign there. Oh, I was itchy today. Are you not running? Thought you were. Okay. Hello, computer. What are you doing? Oh no. Did I break something? I broke something. Come on, you big jerk. At least the site builds relatively fast. So what I'm trying to do is I'm loading the browser on the left. I'm going to load the site in the browser on the left. Hot module replacement enabled. That's a good sign. Site's rendering. That's a good sign. What I want to do is drill down to a component, make a change, and you should see it reflected on the left there. I'm going to close my file sidebar for a second. Alright, so here's a simple one. This is the app header? No, I picked the footer. Yeah, let's try the header. So, I don't know. Look at this. I'm just going to change the title of the site from Firefox Color to Firefox Color Hooray. And look at that. The page didn't reload. It was a little slower than I'd like, but I can make a change here. the page does not completely reload. And once it's done going on in the background, that changes. That's cool. Cool. So actually I think I just finished my next to-do. But I see some errors popping up in my build shell in the background, so let's see what's going on with that. Well, these are just lint errors. Okay, we can fix that easy enough. This little experiment is over, so I can hop out of this kind of split screen view. But yeah, hot reloading is really good. Or hot module replacement is really fun to get working because it can make things a lot more responsive during development. So let's see, I was looking at index. And also this song has been going on for a while. Oh, that's right, this song has no end. What the next? There we go. Okay, so we got a linting error at line 3. Oh, well, we changed that. That shouldn't be an issue anymore, should it? Where's that line 21? No, we moved it. App component. Never mind. Not index. App index. Yeah, these should be double quotes. That's easy enough to fix. Missing semicolon. I am not on the, I'm not on team optional semicolons. A lot of folks are. I am not. This is another thing I just did on another project. Tweak a lint rule. My globals. Yeah, so module is indeed a global. Yeah, there are a bunch of... Actually, I should roll this into an NPM script at some point, because after I add all these rules, I'm going to actually be done playing with this. Okay. I believe I have added hot module reloading. My linting is working okay. Alright, so the site should still be loading. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Actually, the nice thing, I was making those edits all in a Linux box, but, I'm kidding. Yeah, there we go. I'm back to my, I was looking at an instance of Firefox up in the remote desktop box, but if I make an edit up there, I should be able to see it on this browser too. It's all using WebSockets. So, okay, let's see if we can jump over there and make a real quick edit. Firefox. I'm going to call this an awesome Firefox test pilot experiment. It just says if Firefox test pilot experiment, it's going to say an awesome Firefox test pilot experiment. There it goes. So, it's a little slow right now, but faster than the full page reload. I saved that, right? Yeah, okay. There it goes, it's going back to normal. Cool, so that's my next to-do done. This cat really wants to be fed. Alright. So this one's kind of a mystery. Why do I lose this module every time I install a new one? Maybe I'll do some quick Googling. I don't know. Yeah, so the site uses this typeface, and we can install it from npm. But every time I install any other module, my build claims to have lost that module. And then I have to do npm install all over again. Be back 1 second. Alright, and I'm back. Had another short little interruption. So what was I doing? Oh yeah, I'm trying to investigate this Fira thing, so... I don't know, let me try and install another module. What's a good one? Anything, kind of lost my train of thought there. Wondering if it's actually an issue that already exists. No. I'm trying to figure out a quick way to demonstrate the problem. I guess I could remove a module. Well, maybe just try installing something. The last thing I tried installing was... It's already there. And this shouldn't really do anything. So there it goes. There's the error. Whenever I install any npm module, it suddenly can't find that module, or that resource. What's screwed up about that is I bet you if I do this, if I look for that file, I'm willing to bet, oh, it's not there apparently. So this is baffling actually. It's there. If I look for... It's there. I mean, I guess it's a GitHub module. But every time I install any module, I guess this disappears from my file system. Until I run a general npm install again. And as soon as it does that, it's fine again. So actually, I'm wondering if that's part of a clue. Since it's a GitHub install and not a normal package. And in fact, I think that might be one of my only modules like that. Or my only dependencies like that. The rest of these are all from NPM, they're all versioned. This is the only one. I don't remember why we needed that specific version. Well, let's see. Before I go too much further, what changes do I have pending? I thought I checked all this stuff in. Oh, you know, I don't think I ever checked all those changes in. Before I move on to the next step, what work do I have hanging around? Didn't I just add you? Yes, I did. Okay. Yeah, I thought I did. Yeah, I thought I did that. Oh, you know what I did? I didn't commit all my work. I really hate package lock JSON. Oh, you know what? That's the only thing I checked in was package lock. All right. I need to learn some more Git commands to exclude package lock from my diffs, because I like the diff to figure out what I just changed. And I'll look at it and see if I left any bad console messages in and things like that. Okay, here we go. So these are the packages I did install. All right, so now I've kind of tangled together my work on hot reloading and the class properties, but that's okay. I'm just going to dump it all into the same commit, I guess. I could splice it apart later if I wanted to. Like this is the thing that got me into trouble earlier. Yeah, you know, there's not that many lines of code devoted to the hot reloading change, so I'm just going to include that. That's not how you type that. Alright, so I'm just going to amend that last commit and also... I'm working off a branch, so I'm planning to squash all these commits and do a little cleanup with them later. Alright, so I'm going to get that work off my machine. And if you're interested, you can see the mess of things I'm making up here at... Yeah, so github.com/lmorchard is me. And what I just did is Firefox color. And what I just did is 110? No, 308. If you really want to follow along with the work I've been doing, you can see that tail. I just kind of make like really dirty looking commit messages for now until I squash everything. So they'll usually have like the word progress in them and things like that, just to kind of distinguish them visually for when I finally do squash things together. And so these aren't commits that will go as is into my eventual pull request. So I'm going to end up editing all this when I finally submit the pull request. But if you want to follow along with what I've done over the last few days, you can look through here. It's been a couple of weeks actually working on this feature. And I guess what I'm doing now is not technically a part of this feature, so I may end up splitting it into separate pull requests later. Anyway, I want to fix this. I'm wondering if there's an actual release of Fira. Because Fira is a font, so installing this npm package gives me the font and the CSS wizardry to include on the page. And I'm installing it from GitHub, but it must be on npm. Hey, kitty. Cat is threatening to chew on my microphone cord. So there are downloads here, but I wanted to install it as a package. I swear it was on npm too, but there's a reason why that didn't work. The typeface Fira Sans? Because like that line has been there probably since the beginning of the project, and I can't remember why it's so. Hey, no, you don't need to nuzzle the microphone. You're just gonna get cat butt on the stream for a little while, I guess. I'm looking for the line where Fira is brought in and trying to remember. Include Fira fonts. That's from 5 months ago. I do not remember, and I wrote it, so crap. I don't remember why I did it this way. Okay. I'm wondering if there is just a version from npm I can throw in there. That's from a non-Mozilla project. Mozilla Fira pack. Let's skip this line for now. Is this the same thing? Like a very similar thing. Last published 2 years ago. So I just noticed where the kitty face is. Yeah, it's about time for the cats to be fed, so I may be wrapping up the stream within the next 20 minutes or so. I would like to figure this problem out, though. When was the last change to Fira? Because I don't know, maybe 2 years ago was the last change. Just hoping to get something more recent. Yeah, no, well, it's at least within the last year. But maybe that wasn't an actual font change. I don't know. Okay, let's try this real quick and see if it fixes my problem. Because I'm wondering if maybe it's that GitHub installation of the dependency that's making it get lost. I don't know if that's like a bug in NPM or what. I'm expecting that whatever this is I'm installing is going to be at a different location. Yeah, see, I just installed a module and it disappeared again. Ironically, I just installed Fira. I'm wondering who mentions Fira. Okay, so it's just that one CSS file. Okay, so I did install it under Mozilla Fira pack. And it's under Fira. That's called Fira CSS. So I have a nagging worry that this package is different enough from the Fira we're generally using to make this unwise, but... Okay, so I want web index SCSS. I'm going to change that to... Let's just comment that for now. And it's going to be called Mozilla Fira Pack. And the only reason I'm doing this is because this is an actual NPM module.
You've been hit by, been struck by a smooth.
So it's going to be this. Versus this. So rather than a GitHub URL, it's just a version. I'm wondering if that'll have an impact. Be interesting if I found a bug in NPM, I guess. Oh, that's interesting. I probably just opened a whole can of worms for myself. There is a song I want to hear. Let's do this song because I really like it. I know what this is. The problem here, it's using, I think it might be using different fonts. This is like when you dig into a box full of wires and you only want one wire and you pull out the whole tangled mess of wires. One change leads to another, and you don't actually want to have done any of it. But maybe I'm getting a reprieve. I guess the other thing is, what does the site look like? Because we're using that font all over the place. And I probably just broke the font. Browser's not responding. That's not very happy making now, is it? There it goes. Now it's reloading finally. I'm curious. Okay, well, it's got... There's one of the fonts. Nope. Yeah, see, this is a different... Okay. I think it just still had to load the font. It's a new font. Okay, I see. Well... That looks the same to me. My issue is I'm not a designer, so I probably don't appreciate the fonts enough to know the difference. Looks like the right font, though. I don't know. I'm gonna roll with it because I think I'm gonna hope that that just fixed my issue, my build issue. I don't know. Let's. I triggered the issue like this before. Without all the typos. What's the name of that module? It's already installed, but just installing anything would make that font package disappear. So we'll see if this breaks my build. If I'm lucky, it doesn't break my build. Well, son of a pup. Maybe it is that, that npm package syntax. I've been running into this problem across several different projects because, of course, many of the projects I work on use this same font. It's a Mozilla font, so we use it on a bunch of projects. Wondering how other projects around Mozilla bring in this font. Actually, I wonder if this might be a thing. I'm gonna look real quick and see if this is actually an npm bug. I don't even know if these are good search terms for the error. No. Missing dependencies after running npm install a second time. That could be my issue. Modules constantly missing when running npm install. Many packages suddenly disappeared. Maybe this is a thing. npm package from GitHub, missing files. Okay, maybe I've run into a years-old issue. What does this say about it? Yes, I already... Go away. Install all necessary packages. I don't know that this is my issue. I doubt it. Yeah, I don't know. See, I guess I could just roll with the fix I've got, which is changing to a different package, which is not from GitHub. But my issue with that is I know when it works, it works. It's the correct font. When it actually is installed, it's just there's this weird issue with npm. Yeah, none of this sounds familiar. What version of npm do I even have? I want to say it's like 8 or something. Oh, 560. Oh, it's Node 8 that I have. Yeah, Node 8. npm 560. Yeah, I'm wondering if this is just a weird npm issue. It doesn't like working with GitHub direct installs. npm is producing an incorrect install. It happens every time I move from my PC to my laptop computer. I run an npm install on either one after I made changes to the package JSON. It works, but when I run my app over missing modules requested, okay. Oh, well, these are like sub-modules. Huh. I don't know. I wish I had a definitive answer to why this issue is happening. Now, these are just issues missing from Webpack or from npm itself, so that's not helping me. Package from GitHub, missing files. Maybe I need to change the syntax of the dependency. No, that is the syntax. Hmm. Yeah, no, that's the syntax. I'm mildly baffled about this. It just seems that every time I install a module, this one dependency installed directly from GitHub vanishes from node modules. Hey, welcome back, Slayer Dearth. Your dad bought 3 Google Home Minis. What do you do with that many Google Home Minis? I guess you can have one in every room. That's worrisome. Alright, well I'm coming up on 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I've been streaming for 2 hours. I think I need to wrap up. I think I have gotten closer to figuring out why I have this installation issue. I don't exactly know why. I've fixed it by changing modules, which is not necessarily a fix, because these are not the same modules. I'm curious where this module came from. Oh no, my cat's getting entangled in cables. There we go. The problem I'm looking at, and I can't visually see a difference, but I know the module I'm using, or been using, is at least a year newer than the last time this was published to NPM. So I kind of don't want to just arbitrarily change to this older version of the font pack. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll just live with the problem for now until I take another swing at it. Yeah, I'm gonna remove that for now. But yeah, so the interesting thing, let's just stop. If I just clear out node modules altogether, and this is probably actually gonna, I probably shouldn't have done that, but oh well. If I npm install from scratch, there's no problem. Oh, actually, maybe this box is going to surprise me. An npm install runs much faster on an EC2 box. Couple weird errors. That's annoying. Oh, wow, 30 seconds almost. Okay, so I just wiped out all my dependencies, reinstalled them all. The build works fine. Build works fine. I install one new module, or I install one new module, even one that's, or I install one module, even if it's already been installed. In fact, this is already in my dependency list, so this is basically doing nothing. But if I install a package after installing everything, my font disappears. That fear of font disappears. And I double checked and it is in fact missing from the dependencies directory. If I install any other new module or any other module at all, and npm for some reason removes Fira from my node modules directory. And then if I just run npm install again, it comes back. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of like restating the issue here, trying to think through it. Seems like this is an npm bug. I'm having trouble kind of formulating the search terms to find other folks who might have run into it. Yeah, see, since I just hit npm install again, all that stuff is back. It's annoying. Basically what I have to do is every time I install a module, I have to do a double install. Oh, kitty. Loving my laptop right off the desk. Alright, well, I have not actually solved my final issue there. Or the current to-do. I might have arrived at a solution, but I'm not confident enough to go with it. I'm gonna poke around some more. But for now, I think I need to wrap up the stream for today. About 4:45 p.m. here. Cats are getting hungry for dinner. But yeah, so I think that's about it for today. I'm trying to do a regular schedule on this thing. Maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. That would have been about an hour and 42 minutes ago. I'm hoping to do it about 2 hours every other day. We'll see if I keep it up. But for now, thanks for watching. Thanks for following. Hope to see you again next time. Cheers.